Welcome back to Behind the Caution Tape. I am your host, CrashLit. Not too much happening with the holidays, but still some big events going down. So we're going to get all of it right here, right now, back on the normal weekly Monday rundown that you're used to. Obviously, hope you're all having a happy holiday season, and it was a pleasure, obviously, to interview Nick Lopez last Thursday. Please go check it out and go listen to that interview. It was a great conversation, bit longer than normal, but it's still worth your time. Anyways, into what's going on. And we got some news coming out of women's volleyball. Their season might be over, but Brad Keller will be looking for a new coach to add to his staff, and that is because associate head coach Tyler Hildebrand has accepted the head coaching job at St. Mary's. Hildebrand will succeed longtime head coach Rob Browning, whose tenure came to an end following the Gales season coming to an end earlier this month. Even though his time was short, it was still definitely, I think, a big addition for the Trojans to have Hildebrand for 1 year. And I think the move is actually, I think it's good. I don't blame Hildebrand. I'm excited for him. I think it's a big move for both sides. It makes USC look good that they're getting good coaches in there. And I think also it's a good move for St. Mary's too. Hildebrand was really left, I think, a really positive impact here. And also, a lot of the players here responded well to him from how they responded to his accepting of the job. And I also think it just shows St. Mary's really trying to be competitive in this new world of college athletics, especially possibly vying a spot in the new world Pac-12. I'm not sure, but it seems like that's kind of the statement they're making with this move. So, but overall, really excited for Tyler. And this is what head coach Brad Keller did have to say about Hildebrand going to St. Mary's. And I quote, "I strongly believe that Tyler is going to leave a mark as a generational volleyball coach. He is so highly sought after for a reason. Though our time with him at USC was short, Tyler's impact both on and off the court were evident in the strides our program took this season. I look forward to seeing where he takes the Gales and am excited for what the future holds for Tyler and his family." So overall, best of luck to Tyler Hildebrand in his next chapter. And it was really cool just to get to meet him a couple times and chat with him throughout the season. I met him at the first game against Pepperdine and then chatted with him here and there, sometimes 4 games. And I think just saw him around campus. And he's a really cool guy. So it was really cool just to see the impact that he had on the program this year with USC going into the Big Ten for the first time. So meanwhile, on to the men's side of volleyball. The preseason AVCA poll is out earlier today, and USC clocks in at number 7. So USC obviously looking to try to build off last year, got a good recruiting class coming in, so I'm really excited to see how this team does. And also I was able to confirm that first game of the first match of the season in the Galen Center Pavilion is open to fans on January 9th against Damon, and then the home opener on the main Galen Center court will be on January 11th against 19th ranked Princeton. So 2 big matches start that week. Definitely looking forward to seeing men's volleyball get started. So we will, I'll bring you more information on that, I think, next week as we start getting into spring sports, especially men's volleyball being really the first one and kind of earlier compared to some of the other sports to kick off their seasons. So meanwhile, some golf news, and congrats and best of luck to all those competing over the holidays with Gavin Aurelia and Jackson Rivera taking part in the Patriot All-America. Jaden Dumdamava Maya and Jack Jergay, and I'm sorry, I hope I'm getting these names right, in the Grapevine Amateur, and Tyler Greenspan taking part in the Orlando International Amateur. We will get more into men's golf next semester, in a few weeks when the team resumes competition in the Southwestern Invitational in Lake Sherwood, which will be hosted by Pepperdine from January 27th through 29th. On the women's side, a few golfers also taking part in events over the break, with Kylie Chung and Jasmine Koo both taking part in the Patriot All-America. We will get into them, I think, in about a month or so. When the women's team resumes competition with the Therese Hessian Regional Challenge at Palos Verdes Estate, which is hosted by Ohio State. Not sure why that has to be even though it's in California. And that will be from February 2nd through 4th. Meanwhile, let's get into the big news from Las Vegas. The USC football team winning the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl over Texas A&M 35 to 31 in comeback fashion. It was a great way for USC to win. Obviously, getting the game-winning touchdown. Jane Mayava throwing the game-winning touchdown with 8 seconds left. USC proving they own the SEC in Las Vegas. So let's go. Fight on. But obviously, it was a really exciting game. Drove out the morning of, went back the day after. And obviously, there were a lot of opt-outs, but a lot of younger guys got to play. One guy who I was really excited to see play, who's had to wait his turn, is Killian O'Connor, who's a walk-on. Got to start at center, and he got to play alongside Emmanuel Pregnon and Elijah Page, who was injured. Hopefully Page is back quick from the ankle injury as he got better throughout the season. I was really excited for O'Connor. I've gotten to know him. I got to interview him for a class project, and he talked about why he chose USC. He talked about how he just wanted the opportunity to play at the top level, and as he put it, he quote bet on himself. So he said, "I quote, I'm gonna bet on my," or paraphrasing, it was like, "I'm gonna bet on myself with this." So I was really excited to see him get a start and play really well, and just I think he's got a chance to possibly play next year too. So I was really excited for O'Connor to get that opportunity to play and just really prove that he could be a starter. And it's got to be tough when year after year you get sit behind Brett Nealon, and then Justin Dedich moves to center, and then Jonah Monheim moves to center, and now Monheim's finally gone. So this could be his big opportunity to maybe start next year. So I'm really excited for O'Connor. But anyways, on to the rest of the game. Jade Mayava in his fourth start struggled in the first half through 3 interceptions throughout the game, but he did pull it together, I think, especially late in the game, especially in that fourth quarter, where he threw 3 of his 4 touchdown passes with the game winner to Kyle Ford with 8 seconds left. So I think there's definitely going to be a quarterback competition next year. I don't think Mayava. I think the door's still open on that one. And besides, I want to see what incoming quarterback Hassan Longstreet has to offer to compete with it, because I think he really could compete well, and I think it's going to be a good competition for both of them, and it could make both of them better. And I really think that whether it's Mayava, Longstreet, or whoever Riley gets out of the portal, we'll see who we get there. But I'm really excited to just see who USC how that quarterback competition looks. I think it could make everyone better, especially because I think Mayava could be the starter, but he also hasn't shown enough, and I want to see what the spring game looks like this year, because I think Longstreet has a lot of potential too, and I think there's a reason why quarterbacks coach Luke Heward was on him for so long, even when Julian Lewis was still committed to USC. And I want to take a sec to just talk about Kyle Ford. With everything he's gone through, his career didn't go the way he'd wanted it to. Went to UCLA. That is a traitorous move, but he came back, admitted that he was, quote, tripping. I still loved when he announced he was like, "I'm back. My fault, I was tripping." But I was just really happy to just see him, get that shining moment to just seal the game winner there, get the game-winning touchdown, just really help USC just put the Aggies to sleep. And then obviously Kamari Ramsey at the end. I'll talk about that in a sec. But as for the running back, I was impressed with Brian Jackson and Amari and Peterson stepping up in the running back room, with Woody Marks off to the NFL and Quentin Joyner off to Texas Tech. They combined for 109 rushing yards. And the guy who probably the best game overall was Jacoby Lane. Like, he just went off, caught 3 touchdowns from Mayava at 127 yards on 7 receptions. And it seems like both him and Mekhi Lemon, who also had a good game, Lemon got 99 yards with 6 receptions. They have a lot of potential to lead the receiver room next year. And I think Lemon probably also has a lot of potential to do both kick and punt returns. You saw him take over and do a good job there for Zachariah Branch. And even though Jacoby Lane, I think, had a moment of immaturity earlier in the season when Miller Moss was benched, I don't think he's going to transfer, because for those who remember, and this is to the best of my knowledge from what I heard, he posted a series of tweets kind of saying that USC was, quote, cooked, and just some other things that he eventually did take down, and I think he walked back. But still, just the fact that it showed that, but I think, I think he just realized he's got a good opportunity here. Like, why leave? regardless of whether he's playing with Mayava, Moss, Longshot, whoever the quarterback is next year, he's still got a great opportunity to just become a star. And just when he goes off, he's like really good, even though Lemon might have been a bit more consistent this year. I still think both of them. And I think Jacoby Lane could be the wide receiver one next year, which I think is really exciting for him. And I'm really excited to see how both him and Lemon develop throughout the year. Obviously, and then on the defensive side, Eric Gentry was back, and I think he had a good game. I think just big leader for this team. So I was really excited to see him get to play and just, have some momentum going into next year. And then obviously Kamari Ramsey coming back is big, and especially at the game-winning interception too. So I think this team's going to get better. And I think obviously the schedule's not quite as hard. I mean, we don't really know until, the games start actually being played, but I think USC's got a chance this next year, and I really am excited for it. I truly believe that actually USC can be really good this year. So obviously the spring game, looking forward to seeing that. That'll technically be my last game while I'm still in college. Well, at least football related event, the Coliseum. This was my last game, which was really exciting, super emotional. But then also just first game of the 2025 season against Missouri State on August 30th at the Coliseum. I think it's going to be, really exciting year. I think that this team's got a lot of potential, so I'm really excited. Obviously, any news that keeps coming up, I'll definitely make sure to keep talking football throughout the year to keep you all informed of the latest I'm hearing, what's going on. So really excited for this football team next year. But let's get to a team that might be that just the entire fan base might just be the most zoned into right now, especially now that football is over. And with the person that I have argued is right now the face of USC, which is Juju Watkins and the women's basketball team, who won their first Big Ten home opener, number 4 USC, beating number 23 Michigan 78-58. So Juju Watkins led with 31 points. Kiki Iriafen had 18. Rhea Marshall 15. It's a tight first half, especially with Jordan Hobbs of the Wolverines shooting really well from downtown. She finished with 19 points total on the night. This was yesterday on Sunday. USC pulled away in the second half after a slow third quarter. They led 34-31. Michigan, I think, started off on a 5-0 run, and then USC started to pull together and just pull away. So it's a good game overall, competitive. But I think this USC team is going to be really, really good, and I think it's just really exciting to see everyone stepping up. I really thought that Rhea Marshall did a good job stepping up, and I was also impressed with Avery Howell defensively last night, especially the Iria Fenn and Talia von Oelhoffen dealing with foul trouble. She finished with 3 points, but then had 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 28 minutes of action, most of any bench player. So it was really exciting to see. So USC now 12-1 on the year, 2-0 in Big Ten play on an 8-game winning streak. They hold steady at 4th place in the AP poll. Not a surprise considering most of the teams above them either won their games or have been not playing as much due to the holidays. So up next, USC stays at home for one game and then goes on the road. So they'll face Nebraska on New Year's Day. So Wednesday, that game will be at noon on the Big Ten Network. And then they face Rutgers on Sunday, also on the Big Ten Network. So I think that with both these games, it's going to be big. It's going to be, obviously USC's got to, keep their foot on the gas, not let up. Rutgers game at 5 p.m., by the way. So USC just needs to continue to play well, especially with, travel starting now, and it's going to increase. And both the travel and the level of competition is going to increase on a game-by-game basis. Obviously, USC has had some pretty solid road trips this year. They went to France, opened the season against Ole Miss, and then also played at UConn last weekend. And I'm not saying, and it's not just, whereas those were kind of more one-offs. I think this is more consistent, tougher competition, as well as just those road games are going to be further away than where they've just mainly been home and then just went to Palm Desert over Thanksgiving. So I think this team can still be really good. There's definitely a lot of great matchups on the schedule this year for this team. So I'm really excited to go to a lot of these Big Ten games, but it's just going to be, they just got to, be ready to play because the other side's going to be ready to play. So USG's just got to come with their A game every game. And then finally today, we'll talk about men's basketball. So they've been off for the last 2 weeks game wise. They will resume action on Saturday night against the Michigan Wolverines when they will, who are currently 10-3 on the year and 2-0 in Big Ten play. So obviously, big test here, and USC is now 9-4 and 9-4 on the year, 1-1 in Big Ten play. They're looking for their first Big Ten home win. They're currently on a 4-game win streak. They put USC playing Michigan at 5 p.m. on Saturday. So, head coach Dusty May, previously at FAU, helped lead them to the NCAA to the Final Four 2 years ago. He's in his first year at Michigan. I think he's done a good job turning around the Wolverines, and he's got the ranked wins over number 11 Wisconsin and number 11 Wisconsin, then 22 Xavier. So I think he's done a good job. It's going to be a competitive match. Should be a great matchup. USC, I think, is getting better game by game. So I'm really excited to just see what this team has to how this team plays this week. And I'm really just looking forward to just seeing USC continue to get better, gel, especially with all these guys playing more. I'm really excited to just see, I'm really excited to see this team play again. Definitely missed them over the last couple of weeks, but excited to see USC and just Josh Cohen, St. Thomas, Desmond Claude, everyone just go out and just probably gonna be another competitive game. So USC's just got to come ready to play when the Wolverines show up to town. So obviously it wasn't as long an episode as normal. We're reaching the end here. So last week I went 2-0, 2-0 in the games I went to. So the football win in Vegas, with USC now finishing the year 7-6, and then women's basketball last night against Michigan. So that puts me at 43-12 on the season, 225-94 all time, and then women's basketball I'm 7-1 this year. Football I will finish with a 7-3 record and graduate with a football overall record in 4 years of 22-12. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop though. Every time I go to a game now, even after I graduate, I will keep adding to that Excel sheet. So definitely looking forward to doing that. And I'm 255-94 all time so far. So far for this week, barring any trips, still just being home for the holidays and everything. I mean, that's why I'm recording out at Newport here, not at the Surf House back up at school. But barring any trips, the games I'll be at this week are Nebraska on New Year's Day, and then women's basketball against Nebraska on New Year's Day, and then men's basketball against Michigan on Saturday. So those are the 2 games I'll be at for USC. So hope to see y'all at those. Definitely come say hi. Let's chat it up. Make sure to follow me on social media at CrashLit everywhere. That's Instagram, X, YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast wherever you get it. Thank you for all the support. Also, check out my website, CrashLit.com. That's where I put up everything that I'm doing and keep you all informed of what I'm up to. But overall, thank you again for all your support. It means the world to me. Looking forward to seeing you at an event soon, and fight on.